Okay. Oh, there we go. The incredible, super amazing video show review. The incredible, super amazing video show review. So there you have it. That's what you're looking at right now. I'm Joe, the camera guy, and came to you last week, just kind of talking a little bit about editing and some of the processes and stuff, and I just kind of want to continue on that same path. For any of you who are tuning in and watching, I do appreciate that, and hopefully, yes, you find this is informative and hopefully something you can utilize in your future endeavors. So just wanted to jump back into this edit I was working on last week with you. One of the things I did want to kind of cover for this was how my timeline, how sometimes when I'm editing the shows, I'll go through and I'll color code everything. As you'll see here on my timeline that there's certain clips that are green, certain segments. I got an orange one in there, I got a blue, more green, I got some a reddish rose color. And for me, there's a reason I chose those colors, and I will go over that with you here right now. So, just so you know, the host of our show, this BrushPile fishing show, his name is Russ Bailey. He'd be the guy there on this right-hand side, in case you don't know. And the show I'm working on, just backtrack even more, the show I'm working on is BrushPile Fishing. Now, BrushPile Fishing is a show produced here at NKT Productions in New Knoxville, Ohio. We travel all over the U.S. pretty much shooting crappie-based fishing shows. Crappie is a type of fish, really good to eat. So anyways, so here's our host over here is Russ Bailey. Here's our guest. Not important, right, for what we're doing, but his name's Kent. A real cool guy. So anyway, so when I go through and I label I color code my timeline, which I don't always do. I only do it when it's a long show and there's a lot of fish. Where I got to get this show down right now is 56 minutes, 39 seconds. I kind of really need to find some stuff to trim out just to pull it down in time a little bit in case we decide to ever air it on television. Which then it would have to be a 21.5-minute show. So, just for ease of looking at it, as I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to cut, for instance, on this, I would look to say, oh, wow, there's a lot of green in here. So that means the guest caught a lot of fish, okay? So I would go through those clips and just to try to even it out so it doesn't look like one guy got smoked and the other guy, didn't hardly catch or caught a bunch and the other guy didn't. I would maybe trim out a few of these fish catches maybe where they weren't saying anything important, but they were the guest fish. So anyways, I chose green because it starts with a G and so does the word guest. My rationale is pretty simple. The ones that are marked in dark blue here, that means they both caught a fish at the same time on camera. And this color is rose, which you can go in and change it to anything you want. In fact, I'll probably end up doing that for you here because I've been wanting to do that since an update kicked it back and reverted it to what it currently is. So we'll do that here in a second. So anyways, rose starts with an R, rust starts with an R. So, nothing, my brain works very simply. I'm a simple man. So anyways, you have some other colors here. These are just ones I didn't do anything with because I didn't need to because I knew what I was going to. I know this, like this blue chunk over here, this, I think they call it teal or whatever, is a chunk I've got to keep. So I didn't bother color coding. I didn't need to. But anyways, let's go ahead and go up to our, let's see, I think it's, system preferences. Nope. Under Premiere. Sorry. Preferences. I picked the wrong one. Okay, there we go. All right. Is it under appearance? Let's see. I can never remember. I usually just end up cycling through each one. So I'm just going to do that. Not going to pretend like I know what I'm saying. Labels right there. Okay. So I went to my Premiere preferences. I am now looking under labels. And if you click on one of these, oh, my window's way down here. Okay, there it is. You can choose whatever color you want it to be, and then you can also rename it. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and pick like a red, because that's Russ is R, you know, red is R. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to actually rename it Russ. And boom. And then I'm going to go down to green, and that green is fine with me. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to label this guest. It does absolutely nothing to your timeline. You're not going to see the word green or the word Russ pop up here. It's strictly for whatever your preferences are. So I'm going to hit OK. And now, boom, you see all the ones that were rose colored are now red, which, you know, I prefer. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, red means bad. Well, yeah, if you're doing it, if you're the one doing it, then it doesn't mean bad. It means whatever you need it to mean. So, so getting back to what I was talking about then. So because, like I said, because I've gone through and kind of labeled these, now from a distance I can zoom out my timeline here, and I can look and see, okay, there's some chunks here that if I get to that point where I really absolutely have to trim this down a lot, I can easily look here and say, okay, I'm going to look at this chunk right here from 834 to what is that, 11. And that's just an area I can easily focus on to look at to see if there's something I want to do. You know, someplace I might want to cut. You know, same with this chunk over here. There's a lot of like breaks in that video, so I can tell that's probably a series. He caught like 3 or 4 back to back. Looks like 3 or 4 fish back to back in that section. Same with you know, this over here, this is probably a couple fish catches at least. So I could look at maybe getting rid of one of those just to find someplace to shorten time. A lot of times I will also label yellow, and this is strictly, again, just for me. The yellow ones I label will be stuff that definitely is going to get cut if I need to cut something. And actually, I'd already done that earlier this morning. So this is definitely not, I did not pick up where I left off from last week. So my chat window keeps disappearing, so I'll just move it. Okay. So anyways, so like I said, I've already removed the stuff that I know for sure can go away, which is usually like something that they repeat more than once in a show, or, you know, just something that just has no relevance in teaching people how to crappie fish, you know. Now, there's a lot in the show that I leave in that absolutely has zero educational value, like Russ and his guests, you know, busting each other's chops about something, you know. A lot of times I like to leave that in just as, I mean, I'm the producer of the show, so that's my call to make. I like to leave that stuff in because I find it entertaining, fun to watch. Helps with the being educational to you know, obviously add some humor to it. So just my philosophy on things. Not everybody's that way. Your show can be obviously totally different. That's not what this whole thing's about, really. It's more about just kind of showing you the different types of ways to edit things. The last time we were here, I did show you the multicam edits, which is where we have all 3 of my cameras that I had, and I was switching between them as we played. But I've already gone through and I finished all that up. So now I'm actually, what I need to do now is that since I've gone through and color coded everything, kind of chopped out a little bit of the stuff I definitely did not want in the show. What I need to do, my next step, and this could also be different for you, and I could also do this in a different way. I could do the audio next, and maybe next time I'm on, I could kind of actually go through how I do some of the audio. Normally, what I would do now is I would go through, and sorry, my computer's lagging because I am streaming at the same time I'm processing all this video. So, all right. So what I like to do now is after I've made my first multicam cut, I've chopped out some of the stuff I don't want. I went through and color coded. The next step that I'd personally do is go through and you'll have to line up your shots because when you're punching on the fly, especially when I was doing it last week and there was a lot of lag, it takes, it doesn't happen that the extra instant I hit the button. So sometimes your cuts are off. So what we're going to do is go through here, and there's a black spot here because I have a graphic I have to insert, so and a drone shot that I got to put in. So I went ahead and did that. I'm not going to take you guys through that step today. We'll do that another day. So anyway, so I'll play. Boom, he's got a fish on. So we saw the hook set there, and then there's the fish in the water, and then my cut, which is fine. I think I might have already done this earlier today.
First blood.
Kind of these are the first few shots that I'd already done.
He's not quite a keeper, Russ. He's about a 9-incher.
What they got to be here?
Little black crappie. They're 10 inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's going to be another graphic that goes in there here once I get to that point. I like to do everything. I like to do all that stuff last. Now, I'll stop there and just tell you. I mean, some people will go and they'll start it at minute 1, or minute 0, play it and edit it as they go, and add in that type of stuff. But that's just not how I like to do it. I kind of prefer to just keep trucking through it, keep cycling through it, play through it, do, make sure all my edits look the way I want them to look. All the camera cuts happen when they should. Then I like to go through and I like to add all my B-roll. And then I like to go back through it again and add in graphics. And then I like to go through and edit my audio. And then I'll go through after that and add music. Now, music for me in my process is the last step, usually before being pretty much done. And then after that, I'll watch it through one time and make any other small adjustments, something I might have missed, or like in this case where my computer working with the stream at the same time can be a little laggy. I'll watch it through when I'm not doing something like this to where there's no lag. I'll make sure all my edits line up the way I want them to, make sure my audio is all good, make sure all my, and then I do my export, which again is for another thing way down the road probably, or not way down, but a little ways down the road. So if anybody has anything they want to say, you may obviously holler at me anytime you want. I'll try to keep an eye on them. Like I said, my window keeps going away, so I will do my best. Okay. All right, so anyways, back to what I was doing here. A little spacey today.
A little bit slower.
Now, normally he mentions this being a smaller fish, and for the sake of the show, a lot of times we if they're too small, we usually don't make the cut. They'll hit the cutting room floor. But because they talk about the limits and sizes of what the fish have to be for this particular lake, this fish gets to stay in for that reason, because they say some stuff around it that I don't want to lose. I need to keep that information in there, so this fish gets to stay in.
And,
so
that first fish, I caught him on the Sure Enough crappie magnet collar. Yeah, I did tip it with a flat bite. Okay, and just going to show you. That's my weedless jig head. I've got a guy in Alabama that makes these, and it really helps you keep from getting hung up in the brush with that little weed guard. And then you can see I've got a little 32nd ounce worm weight, and that's a bobber stopper that I put on my line, and I cinch it down on top of that jig, and it lets me cast a little bit further, and I can kind of keep the bait in the strike zone a little bit longer when I'm reeling it. Yeah. And just gives it a little bit of the same, a little bit added weight, but it's kind of the same profile, smaller jig head.
Oh, it got lagged hard there. Okay.
And a smaller body, so it's like you found mistakes. Yeah. All right, secret weapon number 2, crappie magnet, silver sparkle slab bite.
This is the trick of shooting on the fly, and as things happen, sometimes they not quite the way, as steady as I could have been, I suppose, but that'll happen. So.
Man, if I've got my,
All right, I already know that they're getting ready to catch a fish, so I'm just going to kind of fast forward through some of that. It's boring. Well, it's not boring, but okay. So he catches one. Boom.
Try not to hurt
And again, on my timeline, you'll see this whole section is a deep blue. I picked it because blue and both,
predominantly what we're gonna catch.
they both have bees. So,
We'll catch a few white ones.
oh, see, there his fish. So,
First blood, man.
Say, nice, slow
Yeah.
retrieve.
Every day's different, and you know, we got a full moon today, so it's the fish are probably gonna bite better up in the day. So we might have to slow down a little bit.
and so just a little backstory on this too is, you know, my goal of being on the boat. I'm on the boat. I'm the producer, director. There's me in the background. There I am, right there. So when I'm on the boat, I have to, on the fly, you know, produce and direct. And a lot of times, working with Russ, I've worked with him for so many shows. You know, he and I kind of know how to work together real well. Like when we shoot a show together, just him fishing and me running camera without a guest. You know, I mean, there's not a whole lot of talk about the show. You know, besides a couple, hey, mention this type thing. You know, but when you have a guest, sometimes you got to direct them a little bit because they haven't. Even though this guy's been on the show a lot, he doesn't do it as often as we do on our show. So I do have to direct a little bit on site, and so that's, you know, on top of the shooting and everything and stuff. You know, that's my other role is on the boat is doing that. It's just making sure that I have everything I need. So that when I come back, I have everything I possibly need in order to edit the show. So I need all my B-roll. I need all my drone video. I'll need any close-ups, anything like that. I'm already in my head editing as I go along. So I make a lot of mental notes throughout the day. And you know, if I was just starting out doing this, say I was, you know, 20 years old or whatever, fresh out of school or still going to school, I would probably have a notepad and I would make notes. But I've been doing this so long that I don't need to do that anymore. I know what I need to do. So if you're just starting out, though, to have a notepad with you or use your phone, voice memo or whatever, but just make sure you make notes of as you're going throughout the day to make sure you do get everything you need, you know. So if like in hindsight, there was a shot back here. And I even talked about it. Hold on. Oh, okay, this right here, this orange section here probably will go away, but I would have, had I kind of known how it was going to play out, and had I not overlooked it, I would have shot this wide, and then just went and got a tight shot after the fact. So, but that was a mistake on my part. So even though I've been doing this a ton, I still goof up from time to time. So.
Even more so.
So not a big deal. I mean, like I said, I probably won't make the show anyway. So, but there's things you need to keep track of if you're going to be shooting like this. So.
I was crawling. I mean, I was literally crawling. And you know, that's the cool thing about casting. It's like I said earlier. It's kind of a pattern within a pattern.
Right.
Figure out what they want and just keep duplicating it. And it's man, it's just fun to do. So what do you got going on over there? I see you reaching down and like
Hitting my bait pin up.
he's got the old bait pin going.
There's a lot of stuff going on, you know, when we're on the boat and stuff. So again, I do sometimes miss a few things here and there, but
I got showing up with the orange head.
you can usually
That's going up on with the
figure it
chartreuse
out
head.
after the
You've got
fact,
a
too. I can
chartreuse slab bite?
make do.
Okay, and I've got the silver sparkle.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
I know mine.
When I got on hit.
Oops.
Just give a little something different.
okay, let's see what's coming next. Looks like the guest catches a fish here because it's color green.
But it was a winter.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I know in the wintertime, casting's really good.
I said that last week when I was doing this for you guys. I'll edit and fast forward these first few times just because I'm not really 100% focused on what they're saying. For this cut in particular, I'm just trying to line up my shots to make sure that they look good, that they're not too quick, that I didn't miss a punch as I was doing my multicam. So actually, we'll go right back. We'll step back here just a few seconds because this looks like a cut that I haven't done anything with yet. Okay, so right there, I don't like that. I feel like I waited too long when I punched it the first time. I could probably come here let's see. We'll roll this back. We'll see where I was at if I had a good shot of it with the FS7, which is the camera I have. You see me in the background with. So just roll that out. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, now see, I was all over the place, so it doesn't look like I settled my shot down right away. So I'll need to probably pretty much put that back the way it was almost. So you don't want to put that out there for people to see. So I'm gonna kind of wait about right there. It settles down right there. Okay. So then I'm gonna roll this, and you can see that I took it from the duration was 4 something. Now it's down to duration is now 2 seconds and 17 frames. So about 2.5 seconds. All right. So roll that back out. Now we'll play it. Okay, good. That's a little bit better. Still a little bit of shake to it. And I don't know. I need to look at this at the end of it. I'm just going to step through it. Yeah, see where the camera starts to go up there? I don't want that. So, in fact, about the time that fish goes out of sight is when I'm going to kind of end that shot. And all I'm doing is grabbing at the end there, and you see a little arrow with funky looking arrow thing. I'm just pulling that video back. There's hotkeys that I think will actually do that too. Again, I don't really use many of them, so that's not my role in life, is to show you how to do that. Okay, so there, fish pops into the shot. Cool. All right, I'm happy with this so far.
Bait's been down in their mouth. Yeah, that's good. That's a good sign that the fish they're inhaling it.
All right, waiting for him to hold that fish up. Oh.
Another Percy crappie there.
There we go.
That might be 10 inches. So.
Get to see the fish for a second. Boom. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want that shot. I don't want that in there. See that? So and this is where, as I was punching it, there was I probably was a little slow on the take. So when you're doing this, I mean, almost every time you do a multicam edit, you're going to have to do this step. You'll have to go through and tighten up your changes. And actually, as you see, as we go on here, you'll see it probably gets a little bit, there's a few spots where I just quickly kick back and forth because I'm telling myself, hey, pay attention to this area. So.
There's a lot of people out here, and we got to share the lake with these folks. They're out here.
Now, some of those movements there, I like that little quick zoom in there. You see it right here. So I'll step through it. I'm just going to kind of doing frame by frame. So yeah, that adds a little sense of urgency to the. And it's funny too, because watching this now is harder because there's no music. I always put music over the fish catches, so you'll see, this edit is actually kind of difficult to edit because I have no music, and so it feels kind of slow, kind of boring. If I'm struggling or whatever with an edit, sometimes I'll do my music step sooner, just to help. I get a feel of the flow of the show and stuff, because it really makes a huge difference.
They're out here, water skiing and wakeboarding and everything else. So it's get out here early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and it's catch a lot of little guys. Oh, Russ lost his.
Now see, if down the road, actually, I'm going to change this to yellow, because that whole segment, he didn't really say anything worthwhile. I mean, they talk about the pleasure boaters getting on the water. So, I might label this one as yellow for now. So, yeah, take you back, sorry. All right, so kind of highlight the section I want to change, which is this whole chunk here. Right click. We're going to do label. And we're going to do, I choose yellow for stuff that might go away, kind of like caution, So I know it doesn't make sense. So there you go. So this chunk might go away, might not. Who knows? Depending on how much time I got to lose. So be another thing. And that fish wasn't all that huge, so, and they didn't really say anything of severe interest in there, so. All right. Okay, I feel like that shot probably a little bit long, so let's just, yeah, it's 4 second shot of nothing, so we'll roll that back to about 2 second shot. That's a good range for a standard shot. Since we're not really, and I'll probably actually end up covering that with another piece of B-roll at some point in time. But in case I don't, I kind of try to cover myself now.
Yeah.
And again, it's all a little janky here, it's all laggy.
Really, really prolific. Oh, did you see that? Missed him? I missed him and I pumped it and he came back and got it.
Oh, yeah, see that there? I don't know if I'll have a better shot of that fish in the water, so we'll just see. We'll roll this back in a few seconds, see if we see that fish in the water.
Pumped it and he came back and got it.
Yeah, for like a second over there. So we'll probably keep that shot pretty short. Yeah, I might shorten that up even more. Oops. And then lengthen the next shot. Now I will show you this. It's something else I will do from time to time. That's a lot of open space over here that absolutely means nothing about nothing. And here's your focal point over here. The way I'm shooting with my GoPros and stuff, I'll go over my effect controls. And I can digitally zoom in, right? Now, I don't want to go much over probably in all fairness, I'll go up to 150. But no higher because it'll start looking kind of crappy. Not crappy, but crappy. And then you adjust your positioning just to try and bring that whole thing a little bit more into focus, I guess. It's still obviously a lot of this, but just size-wise, you'll see this a little bit better. And then if you were to do up and down, you're going to gain a little bit that way. So, you could. This is not a good solution in this case because he's already at the very far left corner. All I'm doing is giving everybody a little bit better look at it. I'm unfortunately can do nothing to bring it more into the center of the picture. There's just nothing I can do. The amount I would zoom in would make it, you couldn't be able to see what it was. So, just can't do much with it. So for now, I'm going to leave that. Who knows, when I come back to it and look at it later, I might be like, why did I do that? But here we are.
Yeah. Missed him the first time. And I pumped the bait a little bit when he hit it, and then it started falling. Caught another one. So.
Oh, he didn't hold up very long, did he? Okay. For like a second. But I already had it kind of in frame down there as he was doing stuff, so not a big deal. So about the time he's dropping that thing, I'm going to make that my cut. So I'm just going to set in point, play it, out point, right, that next scene change. I'm only losing a second, and that's not really what it's about time-wise. I'm not like trying to milk out, eke down another second and almost 2 seconds worth. I'm just trying to get rid of that harsh movement without having anything to really cut to. So here's one interesting, useful thing. If I lift this out, see what it did there? Created a gap, which I can then close if I do like a ripple delete. Or, let me Command Z, because I am using an Apple. The other thing you do is hit extract. And what that does is that ripple delete for you. It's more or less a ripple delete. Pops that section out and then collapses everything right up against it. There is a hotkey for that one. Let's see, apostrophe, and then the semicolon is your lift. And actually, whenever I'm doing my edits, that's one hotkey I do use a lot. Is that apostrophe and that the semicolon keys. And I think you can assign them any way you want. I mean, you could probably go. I know you can. I know you can go and reassign that to something else if it's something that needs to be more natural for you. Like I said, I don't use the shortcut keys. As I'm scrolling around, that's my time to think about my next move. So having those shortcut keys aren't doing anything for me. They're not really slowing me down either, because that's my time to think. That extra second is my extra thinking time second. So.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel your jig hitting the stakes. It's one thing when you're over the top of the jig. Man, that was a light bite. God, that was a light bite.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah.
And I already know because I looked at it earlier. I didn't have that head-on shot of him. He brought it into the side of the boat, so I never had a head-on GoPro shot of it. So I just didn't even use it.
God, man, they're hitting it good though. Another freeze crappie.
Playing too close right now with this wind as strong as it is. You definitely want to position that boat into the wind.
Yeah, so I've got straight into the wind pretty much, and when I catch a fish, I'm using spot lock just to keep us, save our spot so we don't go back too far.
So again, we've talked a lot about the bite. I mean, they're hitting it.
I say it's another section. I keep thinking I should trust my gut. Let me play it again real quick.
Playing too close right now with this wind as strong as it is. You definitely want to.
Yeah, see, okay, and here's the other issue I have. Okay, so he's got that. I wasn't paying attention a second ago. I was looking at something else. Like this whole, like, camera shake movement, dealy that. Like, okay, don't want that. So I gotta roll that back to where before the movement happens. I tell you, editing is a lot of watching and rewatching, listening and re-listening to the stuff you've done. I mean, even if I only watch through this the 5 or 6 times I have to do each step, you still end up watching it through a lot more than that, you know, like especially pieces of it. So to be an editor, you gotta have the patience and not get annoyed. It's like someone with bubble wrap, you know. It's fun if you're the one popping the bubble wrap, but for everyone else, it's annoying as all hell. Yeah, that's how editing is. Unless you're the one listening and watching it over and over again, it's got to be annoying for someone else to watch, though.
Yeah, so I've got straight into the wind pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight this as yellow too. This whole section here could go away. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
Save our spot so we don't go back too far.
So again, we've talked a lot about the bite. I mean, they're hitting it, but it's super, super light. One of the things is just keep attention on that line.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of wind, right?
Okay,
You
so
don't want to let that wind blow a loop.
they're talking about the wind blowing his line around a bit. I'm pretty certain I got a shot of the line kind of blowing a little bit in the wind. I'll end up putting that in later. Because again, like I said, I do this, get these shots the way I want them, then I'll go back through and watch it again and then start dropping in B-roll, which is your video that you use to cover, you know, bait mistakes or just videos to cover something they're talking about, you know, that you can't get at the time.
When I missed him, I immediately reeled and took my tension back up. So, so my line was tight.
And too, some of this too might actually get cut out. Like I might leave part of it because they talk about this few things that they talk about over and over again. Sorry.
It seems to me like the fish are getting the bait a little bit deeper when I've got a slab bite on there.
I've gone 20 minutes without coffee. I almost didn't make it.
Real slow, right? About as slow as I can reel this thing right now. And to be honest with you, it's probably getting a little bit, because I'm reeling so slow, it's getting, there he goes. Oh man, he popped it, I got hung. But I was just about to say.
I think I mentioned this last week when I was editing this. This guy sets his pole down in this rod holder, which he's getting ready to talk about in a second here. And they keep fishing, and he ends up, the wind blows us back, the trolling motor pulls us back forward, and it reels up like 50 yards of line into his trolling motor. So we had this whole big cluster that happened. It was funny. So anyways, he had to pull over to shore to undo all pull the line out. He's standing in a couple feet of water, and I went Facebook Live on him and didn't tell him. So it was funny. All right, so here's a red section coming up. That means Russ is going to catch fish. Oop, and also, too, here's another thing. This would be a bad cut in my eyes. See right there, it's a jump cut, more or less. A same shot or similar shot to a similar shot is jump cut. That's bad. So probably what I'll end up doing there is actually cutting to that. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is getting rid of that camera cut. Didn't really get rid of anything that's important, you know. And you'll see, okay, now he's got a fish. And let's see. Oh, there he is. I see. That's cool. And then I was anticipating this one when I did it. You'll see here that so. And I'm gonna leave that blank for a second, or not blank, but obviously nothing occurring in the frame on purpose. That way people have time to track and look for the fish just the same as I am. So I'm like, where is it? Where's it? Oh, I see it. Okay, boom, and then boom, we're cutting to that shot, boom, to this shot. So until he turns that fish around to me, I try to stay on this shot here. So it's a lot of bouncing back and forth, the funny thing is as we were shooting this, that's exactly how I had set up the boat for all these things to be sequenced together. But not every one of them did, because not every fish came in straight in at the. Let me show you this one. Okay, so not every fish came in through the same path. The other guy brought his fish way over here, or he caught it when it was already way out there. So as he's bringing it in, I only have like a little window here to get a shot of it. But fortunately, this one here comes in nice through frame and everything. And again, this could be one of those things where I could go in, digitally zoom in a little bit without losing any quality, and I might even do that. I might just go ahead and. So I'm just adjusting all this stuff, and the only reason I'm doing this, it gives people a better shot of the fish. So here it is. See, it just puts it a little bit more in frame and stuff. One thing I do notice, and I haven't done anything with this yet. One thing I have done is already went through and colored my FS7 video, which I will talk to you guys about here at some other point. But look at the difference in like exposure between the two cameras. Even the coloring might be a little bit off, right? It might be a little bit off. I might need to get rid of some color or add some color to this shot. That's a pretty stark difference. I think a lot of it would actually be solved by exposure. So actually I might go ahead and do that. And that's the one nice thing about the GoPros, is you can really push exposure on them without noticeable signal degradations when you're in this scenario. Okay, there's nothing in there that really makes things look grainy like they should. You can kind of get away with a little bit more. So let's see if that helped. Just out of curiosity. Now see, to me that one looks more, has an overall green tint, and this one here has like a more overall blue tint. So I might, just out of curiosity, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just try a few things. Like I'm grabbing my white balance selector. This is white. Let's hit that. Let's see if that did anything. It still looks pretty green to me. Let's do the same thing here to see if anything changes. I see that to me added some green to it, but not a lot. And I'm not even sure I'm actually seeing that. I don't think that's right. But also too, to the best of my knowledge, there's certain times it's because the camera angles are different. Your colors won't be the same. It's like going from going from this shot to this shot. They're going to be different. Your colors are going to look different no matter what, because here the sun is to my back, and here the sun is to the camera's face. So that's going to change a lot. So, but what I can do on this one here, and this would not go in the land of filmmaking as well, because you're losing detail. You saw me push up the exposure to 1.2. You're losing some of your highlights right up here. That's not my goal in life. Okay, my goal for what I'm doing here at this moment in time, I'm just trying to make these shots look a little bit better. You can see his orange in his shirt, and the GoPro's obviously a lot richer than it is back here. So one thing I might do is, when I select on that, all of a sudden I turn this into a coloring thing. Not really my goal, but that's what happens. All right, so what I'll do is I'll grab my eyedropper here, and I'll select that orange. What I'd probably do is back off of it a little bit, just because the GoPro shoot very, very, very vibrant colors, more so than even the human eye sees. So the only thing is you gotta be careful, because that same color is probably part of their skin tone too. So you can't go crazy on it, but you can help get closer. Now also too, the other thing I can do, check my lumetri scopes, see my vector scope and waveform here, and one thing, oh sorry, all right, I don't think anybody's watching me. Whee. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, Joe cameo. What? That's funny. So anyways, okay, so sorry, back to what I was talking about, in case anybody's actually watching. So, let's see. That's it. Okay, so here, I'm looking at this. My saturation could go up. So what I can do is click on this, and what I'll do real quick here is just click back and forth. Okay, so I grabbed that as my color to look at. So what I'll do is just go over here and kind of eyeball the same thing. I'll probably do like here to here to here. And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to push that up a little bit to the point about right there. I mean, it's still not awesome, but it is a little bit closer. It is a little bit closer. But to me, that shot still looks pretty kind of green overall. So what I might do, and pardon me, still a lot of this stuff is a bit of experimentation whenever I do this stuff. So I'm just curious to know if this will work. And I tell you what, whenever I do this, I do the extreme and then go from there. So, okay, you can see, I see what's doing. Okay, so the trees up in the background, I see what's happening there. You see them get real purple, and then down here you should see them get real, yeah, I see the blue showing up. Okay, so that's not what I want. So I can't remember which it is, so let's try this. There, there, and there. Okay, that's doing something, but it's still not what I want. So that's not, I'm not doing the right thing here. Oh. So my highlights, I think, is what I feel looks very greenish blue. So I'm going to push them up this way. But see, now that looks like poo. So you don't want to go crazy on this stuff. Maybe that. And I tell you what, sometimes I just gotta get away from it for a while. So you know, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm not gonna. We'll go over coloring better at another time. All right. So anyway, so here we go. Russ catches a fish. So let's see how this all plays out. Okay. Oh, this is the one we just did. So. Hi, I'm Joe. I don't pay attention to what I say and or do. Okay, so I'm just stepping through. Before that camera movement, I think I'm going to cut that shot. Oh, didn't grab it. There we go. That's a quick shot. Normally I don't like to go that quick. Okay, how about we trim a little bit extra off of this one. Let's see how much of that we can actually get rid of. I might see if my shot was good as he was coming in. So, oh, okay, I see what happened there. So there's a tiny, that little zoom there I don't much love. So I'm gonna shorten it up to there, roll this that direction, and then just lengthen this other shot just that much more. So now looking at it, that shot's, it's a second and a half, a little shorter than I normally like to go, but all things considered, it's an action sequence, so you can get away with it. So there's that fish. Boom, he's dragging him in. Boom, there he is. And damn it, darn it. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, did I see camera movement there? I didn't want. Yep, I saw it. You gotta keep your eyes open for this stuff. See right there, my camera starts to shift up. You can see it. Oh, right there. The other is boat movement, which is hard to distinguish sometimes between the two. So I'm just gonna. I know it's it's only 4 frames, but to me, I notice these things. I notice a camera movement right before a cut. It sticks out like a sore thumb to me. So there we go. And see, he didn't really hold it up for me. So in fact, what I'm probably gonna do, as much as I hate to do it, this whole sequence might go away, but I'm just gonna cut out that shot altogether and just keep it on this camera because he never really showed it to me. I think because it was small, he didn't really show it to me. I think he was wanting a bigger fish. So, oh. And then now you'll see here real quick. I use this shot for now as a transition between that and that. Otherwise, between this and that, because otherwise it'll be a jump cut. Go from that shot to that shot, jump cut. You got to have something in between. You have to have something in between. So, just kind of telling you that. So for now, this is my in-between shot. But what I'll probably end up doing down the road is adding like a shot of a bird floating on the water, or a buoy, or a cloud in the sky or something like that. Rainbows and bunnies, that type of thing. Actually, on this one, we got some good deer shots standing in the water, so I might use those. And then cut to this. Oh, dang it, I can't see when my camera, it's all laggy. Okay, so I'm stepping through this right now, just skimming. I want to see what that movement looks like. That's not bad. Again, it's an action sequence, so a little bit of camera movement to me is okay. But I need to get out of that shot a lot sooner. Oh, wait. About right before that camera starts to move up. Okay, it's about right there. So again, boom, I'm just rolling that back. And that's what this, after your multicam edit that you initially do, you have to go back through and do this. It's just going to be, inevitably, you're not going to like it. Your computer probably won't be fast enough to handle every edit as fast as it happens for you to be able to seriously switch it, without having some stuff you got to go back and fix. So there we go. Okay, and I've got to get a shot here. Okay, I'm going to tell you this for all you shooters out there, all you guys that just shoot. Watch your background. Watch your background. I had to tell this guy all day long, hold your fish up, because I'm seeing stuff in the background I don't care to see. So, one of the things to be mindful of. Please be mindful of it. Unless you're shooting that kind of video, then, have fun. I'm like, come on, dude, show me the fish. I want to see the fish. Oh, and this is the scene where it gets wrapped up in the trolling motor. Awesome. So, all right, so here's another. There's gonna be a transition board that probably goes in here. Because this is like a tip, so we keep this as a separate piece of the show. Whenever the host or the guest gives out useful information that we want to focus on, we have a little tip board that flies in and out, but I'm not ready to put that in yet. So, but that's why the weird cut there. Okay, so he's just talking about this, and it's the only shot I have, so I'm just going to go with that for now. And then there'll be another segue board out of here that's like a transition that'll go over there. So the jumps or the cuts won't be as stark. So, all right, so this is marked blue, so they both catch one in this scene. Okay, see, I have that shot is not okay. I don't know what I was doing. Must have been napping. But yeah, I don't have that fish anywhere in that shot. I think there, for a second, for not even a second, you see it splashing. Let's see, right there, you don't even see it. Can't use it. So we're gonna get rid of that. Yeah, because I was focused on something else. I was shooting this guy here. So what I'm gonna have to do is just bite the bullet and not have a shot of the fish in the water for his fish. So all I'm gonna do is cut that out and extend it just so the whole thing is at least him reeling in that, the action of him reeling at least is good. Okay, then he's gonna turn to me. Oh, he's gonna drop the fish. And we see Russ catch one, that's good. Oh, wait, I saw something I didn't like. Alright, besides this guy's butt in my shot. Oh, that's what I don't like. I don't like that movement. Okay, so I need to... Let's see, I'm going to get boned here. I just know it. Because two things happened at once, and I'm only one guy. And it's hard to get both. So, let me see. My computer's being laggy. Let's see how... That's a 128. It's not hateful. Alright, so now this looks better, I hope. So boom, he's setting the hook. Wish I could get to him quicker, but I'm trying to get a shot of that fish. Okay, he's getting rid of the fish. Now I gotta quickly find out where that fish is at. Okay, wait. Oh, perfect. So we scroll this back a little bit. And this one this way. And there that fish is on that camera, which makes me happy. Let's put some happy little fish over here in this water here. Channeling Bob Ross. Okay. Here we go. Boom. How about that? Oh. How's that for a slice of fried gold? Alright, so that's where I want my cut to happen. And then hopefully my camera's ready. No, because what am I even doing? Holy Lord. I must have been trying to get a shot of his fish for some reason. Don't know why. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to get rid of a lot of that whole middle chunk because it sucks. What I was thinking. Alright, so for me, I'm kind of fine with doing this. So right before he bends over, I'm just going to cut that out. Boom. And hopefully... Yeah, I mean it's not hateful. It's not the ideal in the whole wide world, but I'm okay with it. Okay, except if I don't love me trying to follow him down. So about time he's let's see here. About time he's actually grabbing for it, I think I'm gonna make my next cut. So dang it. There we go. And I might cut this out too at some point when I'm watching it again because he's measuring the fish, but I don't think he's saying anything all that earth shattering, so I'll probably end up cutting this piece out here. But
caught a couple and ran over to our second spot, caught like 10 in a row.
yeah, like right now they're talking about something that happened already, and I'm like, I'm bored. Let's move on. Let's get rid of this. So I'll probably end up going back another time, and when I watch it, I'll cut it out. But because I don't know exactly where I want to make that cut yet, so we'll skip over it. So I'm not gonna worry about that little bad movement. I see. To me, that looks green, but then it looks okay. It's like when it's playing, it looks all green. I don't know. And this is, if you're not a fisherman, this information's important about the loop in your line. You don't want that, so I'll probably end up leaving that. Might tighten it up a little bit as time goes on, depending on how long I need my show to be. But
Well, I was reeling really slow right there.
oh, and I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't think I need to go to that shot. I don't think I will. So all I'm gonna do, zoom in here. You got. So it goes from this shot, and you can see multicam. It goes from multicam 2 to multicam 1, back to multicam 2. Best way to do this is cut both those out, and then just extend this to fill the gap. So it just hangs on. It'll just hang on this shot. So which is exactly what I want. But I think I need to get out of it sooner. Yeah, I don't want that camera movement in there. So about right there. And that's the nice thing about doing these multicam edits. Oops. Is, you know, you can adjust it any way you want. And then after, like I said, after the fact, you're going to go through and you can still add B-roll on top of this. You can add 100, I don't know if it's 100, but you can add 20, 30 more video tracks on there and stack them all up.
That's white crappie. Looks like a keeper.
Again, here's where you want to watch your back.
That orange head. I got
Watch your
Blake's
background.
claw on
Make
now.
sure your background is cool. Well, what are you doing? He's killing me here.
I got orange too, that sun.
Okay, here's a nice another little thing you can do. Okay, I want to show you this. Okay, so after that shot settles down, I'm gonna make a cut and try something here if I can make it work. As long as it doesn't look out of place. Yes. Okay, so he's got his back turned. So I'm gonna take this, drop that there.
I went back to that orange head. And I got Blake's glow on now.
And that's not entirely relative.
I got orange too, that sun. Yeah.
So I'm going to actually probably lose a lot of that. So, and in fact, in this case, this may not be the most efficient, but I am just going to kind of grab all this, roll it back. Again, this is all the time. I give myself time to think about what I'm going to do next. So, you know, don't judge me. So he's talking about going back to a different color. It's not earth-shattering information that I need. And because that color won't mean anything to anybody except for the day that we used it, you know. So then I can get rid of that because I don't really care for that. And then I'm going to take this and just slide it back and see if that works. So he's,
Looks like a keeper.
yeah, see, you don't know that he doesn't already have that fish held up already. So now we have this big gap here, easy peasy, ripple delete. And that just pulls everything to the right of that gap and pulls it all right back into place. Keeps everything in sync. Nothing drops out of sync. That's a good thing. And that's a big deal if you have multiple audio tracks too. So, you know, things that aren't... Oh, now see, that's a crap shot. Again, this is me cutting on the fly. So, you know, you don't know sometimes what moves, what's going to happen, you know, in your video. So I might be on the wrong shot when I first started. So there we go. Okay, so we just roll that out. So and there you go. Boom, another fish. Chuckle, chuckle.
I went double slab bite.
And that works. Let me see, though, if my shot picks it up any sooner, because I would love it to earn my keep here and have a shot of that fish. Yeah. All right, that works. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. I got the orange head, Blake's glow crappie mag.
See, and now he mentioned that thing again, that bait again, so worked out fine. I cut it out the last time. Dang it.
All right, spot number 3.
Again, this is the bubble wrap thing. It's got to be annoying as hell for you guys, but this is just all part of editing. And it keeps lagging on me here. Okay, I just wanted to make sure there was no crazy movement at the end of that shot.
Number 3. You're the host, my guest. You get the first cast.
Alright. I'm going to make this yellow because I don't know if it's something I'll keep. They are introducing these are on a different spot, but it's also not entirely necessary for the show. So again, I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm just gonna hang on that two shot real quick, so I can, cause I like this. I kind of like this shot. I know it's nothing awesome, but I need to write that shot a little bit. One thing you'll want to keep track of. Okay, on a boat, it's just to let you know, it's hard to keep your shot level on a boat. So you can see up here, you can see how it kind of slants to the left. There's things you need to keep track of. So an easy way of fixing that, oops, not learning, not editing. What am I doing? Sorry, folks. I got a bit of idiot running through me today. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay. So watch this. So there's my horizon. How to fix that? Well, the best way I do is you're going to zoom in a bunch, so you can put your horizon on this top of your frame of your window up here, okay? And then I'm going to rotate it until it looks pretty level. In this case, I knew I wasn't off by much, off 2 degrees. And then scale it back down, but you see how my picture's now crooked? Not a big deal. All you do is scale it back up to just where you don't have the black bars, anymore. So I only scaled up 8%. Or not percent, but eight marks with a rotation of 2 degrees, just to make that shot not so crooked looking, Oh, but now, why do I zoom out? Okay, so I don't want that zoom. So I'm going to zoom in here. Do that. Roll that out. Let's take a look at that, see how that looks. As long as it plays for me. There we go.
This thing's loaded, man. Fucking good, too.
Okay, now I know I can pick up that shot sooner, so I'm going to do that. Again, when I was doing my first multicam edit on the fly, there's a bit of lag or delay sometimes, so you don't always hit your mark as soon as you hope. So, oh yeah, perfect. In fact, I want to see if it comes up even sooner. Sometimes the fish will surface like multiple times, so let's see what happens. Nope. So, we're just gonna, oops. Again, my computer's lagging a little bit. Here we go. Boom. There's that fish fighting in the water. Love it. Oh, nice. That's hot. Oh, yeah. Look at that. But I don't love that. So we're just going to kind of scroll that back a bit. Pick up that shot a little sooner. And just so you know, sound effects help you edit. It will add 10 horsepower to your editing.
Man, is it getting more fun than that?
The numbers of fish, man.
I know.
And this is, like I say, old school, just going back, throwing a marker out, and casting that way.
Yeah, and that was the first cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super black there.
Yeah. See 10 inches?
I believe so.
Alright. So I'm just going to step through this. I want to see if this works. Yep. Okay. Nice.
I'd say your 8 count's good.
Yep. Counted down to 8. Nice slow retrieve. Got him right in the roof of the mouth.
Nice. Okay. Oops. Oops. What if I did? I did something. I wanted to show you something, but I messed up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to zoom into something here. I want to show you something. This here would be considered a flash frame, not a jump cut, but a flash frame. You see that? It's literally one frame of video that can really mess up you have a sweet production running. I've seen it before where I've seen great videos and then you'll come across this, a flash of video. You have to be looking for it. It's like one of those blank and you'll miss type things. So we're just gonna I could just delete that one frame, but I also know I need to trim this up, so I'm gonna just do that. So, and set my out point, and then I want to extract that. So I can use that or my shortcut key. Since I'm highlighted, I'll cut it out. Oop, saving. Okay, there you go. So now, that's important to keep an eye out for. I don't care if you have an edit with, say you're editing and you have, like me, look, watch how many cuts I have. Look at this. I mean, I'm only 19 minutes into this 56-minute thing, and look how many edits I have every time there's a break in my video here, right? Well, one easy, quick way to do it, and it's worth the couple minutes you'll take to do it, and that would be to step through. I just use your arrow keys and just go through every edit and make sure that you don't stumble across a jump, a jump cut, or not jump cut, but a flash frame someplace. Totally worth the time. Go through every, and even if you want to zoom in and just kind of scroll through your whole timeline, you're gonna look for something that looks out of place. Like this here before had this little extra white in between there. It ended up being that little blue frame, so you want to keep an eye out for that. Well, all right. I think that's good for now. I think, hopefully you're enjoying this, learning something from it. I like to talk about this stuff. I could talk about it all day. I could do this all day if they'd let me, but I try to do this once a week at least, and just to give people maybe a different way of doing things, a different outlook on stuff. A friend of mine shared a picture of someone else's timeline where they had 20 video tracks stair-stepped up, and I've got 3. They had 50 tracks going down in your audio. For what I'm doing, that's not entirely necessary. I'm the one that makes, I'm the producer, so I make the final edits. So if I was doing a project for a client, then yeah, I might end up doing a lot of that type of keeping a lot of different tracks in there that helps you keep track of how many edits you've gone and all that. So, but for what I'm doing, this is how I like to do it. I like my timeline to look as minimal as possible. At the very end, I might have 5 tracks of video, and that's including like closed captioning, so that's just me, and everybody's different. Everyone has different needs of different uses. So, and just some things to consider, and that's really my goal, is just to help teach, and again, if you see me doing something and you think, well, that's a dumb way of doing it, you should do it this way. Well, then I would love it if any one of you were to speak up and let me know, because I would not be offended. I'd be much very grateful for. So, all right. So, anyways, until next time, which is hopefully next week. You've been watching the incredible, super amazing video show review, and I have been your host, Joe the Camera Guy. Till next time, peace.